Hey, 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 hey. Ooh, 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 ooh. Get it, get it, get it, get it. Oh shit. So what it is, y'all? What it is? What it is? What y'all got for us? Like, what do y'all want to talk about? I mean, we do have some topics here. I don't know what you got up your sleeve. We might segue into some other stuff. But what it is, y'all, what y'all got for us? That's what I want to know. Yo, yo, yo. So what's up with you?
Man, chilling, chilling. We got us doing a double feature tonight. Round two, round two.
So what it is?
Not much. Just doing my thing in this Remmy game. That's it. That's it. That's it.
All right, yo, all right, yo. What the hell is this? They done came out with a new. What is this? I don't want to see what's new. What is this? They done upgraded. My TV done just told me it upgraded. I don't know what this is. So, you know, in the community, particular black men face different issues.
Mm-hmm.
What issues have you faced?
What issues have I faced? As a matter of fact, let's talk about this. I faced another black woman being upset with me because she felt that I had male privilege.
What do you mean?
So basically, it's almost like a hierarchy, right? It's a hierarchy of privilege and levels,
Mm-hmm.
To this thing, right? So of course you would have the white man, white woman, but then then you come down and then some spaces and then you have the black man, you have the black woman, right? So first of all, when you look at just how this country was built, it was built on patriarchy 1st,
Mm-hmm.
and then and then you have the woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is, being an African American male or black male, because of my gender, it's possible, but it's still being just as hard, being a person of color,
Right.
as it probably has been for a woman being a person of color. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know. I've never compared like salary differences or privilege differences or anything like that. But I think just
I believe black men make more statistically than black women with the same amount of education and
It just
everything.
depends, though. It still depends, because I've known women to get the position and I didn't get it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's not steady across the board.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen women get promoted before. It's not steady across the board. You know what I mean? So it's a system that's put in place for us to be in disagreement with each other, to be in discord with each other as well. You feel what I'm saying? So
You're correct.
I mean, I'm used to being in those spaces where I'm the token. I'm used to being in those spaces.
How do you feel about that?
I don't have any way. I feel two. I'm gonna say two prominent ways, and one is some way I got through the cracks, and I'm thinking it was the creator, you know. And then another thing shows that that company has a long way to go when it comes to diversity, and they're the first one to say that we are, you know, we're open and affirming, or we're, you know, we're people who are agents of change or justice, you know, or we are, you know, we're woke, we're on your side, and dang on it, you ain't. You're not. You have a long way to go.
Do you think like any of those people are actually on our side, or do you think like some of those people are actually just misguided and they have really good intentions, but they're under the wrong care?
So I'm gonna say there are people who are actually on our side. You know what I mean? There are actually people that have gone through struggles, you know, that may be on the other side, maybe similar when it comes to poverty. I'm not talking about the actual, you know, slavery and all that kind of stuff. I mean, just toward poverty. You know what I mean? And being discriminated because of being in lack. But
Right.
but you know, I do think that there are people who are white who are on our side, because we have people who are white who are on our side even through the King marches, you know, and we're with us when we were doing civil rights, and with us when we were, you know, crossing through the Underground Railroad. We have
Right,
white people
but
on our side.
in the LGBTQIA plus community,
Oh my God. That's a whole nother spectrum altogether. Listen,
that's what I'm getting at.
There's still
The
racism.
intersection of being black and being queer, or being a part of the LGBTQIA plus community.
There's still racism within our community,
Mhm.
within our brotherhood.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Otherism is just seen because we're not accepted by everybody, but we're still going to discriminate but people that are not like us. It's like oxymoronic. I can discriminate against you because you wear glasses, but you're coming back and you discriminated against me because I might be a plus size man. It makes
Right.
it's just ignorant. It's really ignorant. You know, discrimination is definitely cyclical, and people don't understand. People don't even see that they're doing it. You know, some people don't. Some people really don't. This one lady came up to me when I was working for CBS, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, I've always loved you people. You know, my best," and it's the same shit. My best friend is black.
Wow.
Bitch, no, he's not. He's not your best friend.
Right, he's not your best friend.
Becky with the scrunchie and the tennis skirt is your best friend. The hell? Let's talk about it.
For real.
I love that read that Electric gave to those little white bitches in season 2. They needed it. They deserved every piece.
I mean, in our community, the amount of racism that I've experienced throughout my 20s is a lot. Like, from being a sex worker in my 20s, I experienced a lot of racism, and I took it and I internalized it. And that did have effect on me in some ways. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to mental health, when it comes to attraction, quote unquote, and what I went for, quote unquote, or who I dated or who I felt or deemed attractive, you know. But it still wasn't, how do I put it? It was something I was always still aware of. I just didn't speak on. Even though I internalized it, I still didn't speak on it. And I'm at the point where, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you could be whatever race or ethnicity, I don't care. But as long as you understand and respect my blackness and are pro-black yourself, love is love. I don't care who you are. Just understand that when it comes to the hierarchy of society, especially being at the intersections that you and I are, you need to understand the intricacies of that and respect me and help uplift me if you are of a different ethnicity or race.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does, because we're all a part of the human race. I don't care your complexion. You know, all of us have blood as well. You know, all of us bleed. All of us have similar situations that we go through. But yeah, it's there's always been a wedge, and if it wasn't the have and the have-nots, then it was the ones that were even amongst the people of color community. There's discrimination. You have the lighter blacks. It's almost white. They get
Yep.
privilege over
Yep.
the chocolate blacks. You know what I'm saying? And even within ourselves, we talk about, oh, you got that good hair, you got that pinky. No.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good hair.
Yep.
Whether it's hard to get a damn comb through it or that shit just flows right on through, it's
For real.
all good because guess
It's
what?
all
It's
good
hair.
Right.
Damn it. And it was on our heads. That's what makes it good. This makes it right and good.
So hold on a second. No, because you're right. But I want to go back to, you spoke on body types. Because for me, like, I don't know, like,
Don't make me laugh.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
I'm just saying, don't make me laugh. Go ahead.
A lot of, like, certain types of people went for me because I'm a slim black guy and they wanted a certain thing, and it makes you feel a certain kind of way. And you being on the other side of the spectrum, I want to know your opinion on how it made you feel being on the other side of the spectrum. I know that you didn't have the experiences that I had, but you had your own experiences kind of on the other side of the spectrum, But also for me, like,
you put the heat back on, didn't you?
I did not.
Oh my God. Probably that can.
For me, the experiences were completely different from you, and it definitely shaped me in a certain way. I learned to, like, try to create this facade on the outside, like I was what the fuck? I don't know, some racist person said something about black babies dying. I don't know. Where was I?
Just talking about, well, you were getting ready to let me jump in.
Go ahead.
But we were talking about, size and everything. So I do want to accept that's not where he was, y'all. I'm just teasing, but I did want to talk on this. My experience has been, because I've been a plus size guy, I haven't really had much play. You know what I mean? And to be honest, I mean, of course, nobody doesn't want them anyway, number one. But number two, I always tell people I have a lot to offer. You know what I mean? I have not just my personality and my life skills, but I also have education under my belt as well. You know what I mean? It's not too frequently that you see, and not being braggadocious, but also giving credit to, just being and existing, and being able to say not all African Americans are, in the hood, or not all African Americans aren't breaking out windows and killing people. You know what I mean? It's very rare that you see African American that has 2 master's degrees. You know what I mean? And get ready to work on his doctorate. It's a low chance you're gonna find that, in this community, which it can be. I mean, we can amp it up, we can pump it up. But I'm just going back and not getting off track. People don't get to know who I am because they're looking on the outside, right? Because people go for that small, skinny, petite, person, and what they haven't realized is, number one, beauty fades, wrinkles come. You know what I mean? What if a situation where you have a thyroid issue, or you're unable to go work out, or you're unable to do this because your leg broke, something like that, then you got to put on weight.
You got into an accident and you don't look the same no more.
Exactly. So, I mean, what
you got
do you
into
have
a fire.
Left? What do you have left?
Right. You lost your leg.
What do you have left?
Right.
You get big as a house.
Right.
You know what I mean? So does that mean your spouse should divorce you? Does it mean you're no longer attractive?
For some people. My thing is, like, so I don't know. Like, I'm on the other side of the thing being a skinny person, yes, society will say this, that, and the third, but it doesn't mean that I wasn't picked on my whole life. But I really wonder, like, I've always more so attracted to bigger people. So I don't understand why. Like, why am I attracted to bigger people over types like myself? Do you know what I mean? So, like, and is that a bad thing? Because I don't actively try to fetishize in any way, but it is something that one should ask themselves. Does that make sense?
It does, because I think so. Systematically, maybe. Anyway, whatever. Let's put a label on it. But basically, I think it's just our experiences that lead to our attractions. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, either you're feeding off of what society feels is the best. You know, women walking around with their little bathing suits in commercials, or you know, you get fancy bigger people because you have big people in your family. You know what I mean? It's different for every person. I don't think it's any wrong or right way to think, but where it becomes wrong is shading someone else for not being what you're attracted to, letting somebody else hear your inside thoughts about what you feel. Nobody asks you for your unsolicited advice or opinion about how they look or how they do themselves. Who died and gave you the measuring cup to assess how somebody lives their life?
Okay. Talk about it.
So I'm just, you know, I am even careful on certain things that I have typically people say, you know what, that's not me. They be going through whatever. You know, there are people that I've known have been skinny, you know, and have put on weight even during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? That's not my place to judge. It's not my place to even acknowledge it out loud to people. You know, why does it matter? That's them and that's their life. You know, so that's how I feel about that. Let people be great. Let people live their own lives. If you want to be skinny as a rail, be skinny. If you want to be big as a house, stay big as a house. That's your deal. That's your life, your body. It's just certain jokes I don't even be a part of. You know, I see somebody talking about somebody being fat. Whoa. Nobody shaming here. We're not finna even have this conversation. It's time for you to go. You know what I mean? Like, shut that shit down. You know, we start talking about somebody's disability. Oh no, we're not finna talk about that. Right. There's nothing they can change. Shut it down.
Right.
If you don't like, you can go. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of stuff. That otherism. You know, if you're gonna be an advocate for all of it, not just a part of it. Especially with the trans community. I would keep talking about them. Speaking of the Trans Day of Remembrance.
Right.
I believe it was I think it's on the 21st. Let me check. Let me make sure we have a correct date. A Transgender Day of Remembrance. Let's see. And Transgender Day of Remembrance, while I'm looking up that date, is an awareness and remembrance of those trans persons that have lost their life. Now, we have a long list, even so far this year, but that's only of people that we know. You know what I mean? Right. So there are a lot of people who are misgendered and misjudged, you know, about who they are, you know, so that's why we don't know. But the Transgender Day of Remembrance, it looks like it's going to be, is it Sunday? November the 20th. Of this 20th? Year. Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's definitely something that that you guys should recognize as a holiday. Just to sit back and just appreciate those people that were bold enough to be themselves, you know, and that still have hearts, that still love, that were human. There's no reason that humans should be struck down for being who they are. You know.
See, I've been fetishized in a way that makes me uncomfortable. And people may think that they mean well, giving compliments in their eyes. It's not. And I guess it's triggering to the quote unquote work that I did and the things that I would be told. And so like hearing certain phrases or certain things, like certain advances, just send off triggers that don't make me feel well or don't compliment me. And so it's hard to find someone that compliments me in the way that makes me feel good, makes me feel whole, makes me feel sexy, makes me feel heard, seen, understood. And the few times that I do come across those kinds of people, they're not good in other departments. As people necessarily, or just things aren't right. And it just leaves me very careful and cautious and analytic of super vetting the people that come into my sphere in like that kind of sense, you know, like someone that's a perspective, like whatever.
You do the same thing with friends?
Yeah.
So you super bad at me?
Yes. Because like well-meaning things is one thing, but actually meaning something behind it is a different thing. And so there are people who will keep being very persistent despite picking up on your uncomfortability or not understanding. There are people who just want, and I have come across that many times. And like there were times in the past where I just went along with it because that person would dangle something over my head saying they were doing something good for me, when really they just wanted like someone that they deemed, you know, pretty or sexy around. And it didn't, that doesn't make you feel good. When you know your worth and when you know you're better than that. And I knew I was not better than that. It was just at some points it was a means of survival. At some points it was a confidence boost, or a falsified sense of confidence boost, more so. And it got to a point where like I was just like, this is so like every day was the same, and I couldn't deal with every day being the same.
What you mean every day being the same?
Everything became a blur. Every guy was the same, and they all said the same things. I wasn't getting anything in return. Whereas before, it felt like I was helping people, if that makes some twisted sense of anything. And yeah, it got to a point where I was like, this is a cycle, this is a circle. I'm done. I want out. I think better of myself and I want better for myself. But it was also like feeling so alone and wanting more than that loneliness, and dealing with that, the shame of just being fetishized and not being actually constantly wanted for like who I was deeper than my attributes. And it was deeply disturbing, and I couldn't take that feeling anymore. And I mean, I've come some ways, you know, I've come a long way. But like I said, the whole time I knew these things, it was just a different thing to actually act on changing it.
Yep.
Kind of like where I'm at now. Like I know a lot of things. It's just different to act on them and make those changes and implement those changes when you're struggling and you think like the odds are stacked against you. But at the same time, you need to do something different to have different outcomes.
Well, and this what we need to know as a people, as a human race, actually, and that's that trauma of any sort can hinder or stun our growth. You know what I mean?
Yes,
And this
I'm
is
learning.
growing out into who you want to be or what you want to be. Nice. The body keeps the score. Uh, Bessel van der Kalken. Oh, der Kalken.
It has to do with trauma.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, it's really important that we acknowledge that and try our best to seek help. You know what I mean? In those circumstances, I think everybody who's anybody needs to have a therapist. Let's start there. And especially in the African American community where it's shunned upon or it's just looked down upon. Black folks, you need a therapist. If any people need a therapist, it's us.
Yes.
So
Talk about
it. So yeah, check into your insurance plans, see if they can get you some free services and get it done. But anyway, going back. But yeah, I think that's definitely something that needs to be highlighted for real, for real. What are your thoughts about that?
What was that?
I said, what are your thoughts about that?
What?
Especially just even the last part about us needing therapists.
Shit, I drew a blank. Yeah, that's something, a nice segue actually. Thank you. I'm sorry, I drew a blank because my computer screen, when I'm trying to scroll down, it won't let me scroll down. It like makes the screen bigger or smaller.
Oh my god.
I'm not great with technology, okay? Just give me a break here.
It has nothing to do with you. How long you had this computer?
Sometime.
Right. Over 10 years?
No. What the heck? It's still doing it. Stop it. So that's actually something that I wanted to talk about was mental health.
Let's talk about it. Because I can name some people that need to get some mental health professionals.
Oh yeah.
Go there.
I think that it's extremely important. Because like you said, trauma and generational trauma and the things that we've been through. But it actually does help you unpack and check yourself, hold yourself accountable, and really work through things that you've been through. It helps you deal with your past, let go of your future, and focus on the present. It helps you tackle issues that you may be going through or tasks you need to adhere to. Someone to remind you of yourself. They don't have the solutions or the issue, the answers, but you do. They just help guide you to it and help compartmentalize things and organize things for you.
Oh my goodness. So segue, incongruent, because I was just thinking about this. So I don't know if we understand, but the foods and stuff that we put or anything that we ingest to our bodies, whether it be external or internal,
Yes.
has an effect on our mental health.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it was so amazing that you brought that up because I just went to the doctor on Friday and realized that I am very deficient in vitamin D. And I'm like wondering, oh my God, why do I feel like, your mind, you're like, I just don't feel like it. I'm like, I love my job, but I don't feel like going. I just don't feel like it, And she was like, she told me, she said, you know what, vitamin D will give you that boost of energy that you need.
Yep.
And will, because you're probably feeling sluggish, like you don't feel like it. And I was like, oh my God, yes. So it's like, she said it'll also, help with your weight loss too. I was like, what? Because it'll, boost your setup. I was like, oh my God, all this time.
And aware, especially because I get deficient in it too. It's part of why I get the depression. It's supposed to make you happy. Mangoes give you more of it than oranges, I believe. Where's that vitamin C? I don't know. Let me check.
Look, this is Bill Nye the Science Guy, y'all.
That's right.
Mm.
Vitamin D.
But they're just going into, like just supplements, whether it's B12, vitamin D. I say, so some people, they have a, a thing about taking pills. Number one, they feel like it's trying to get the man trying to get you down. They just trying to pump you up with stuff. And then studies have shown that some of the hard medicines, um, you know, don't break down. You know, but what I would suggest you guys is that if you don't think that's gonna break down, then get a gummy. You know, get that stuff into your system. But make sure if you have been given supplements to take them. Take
For
your
real.
supplements. I mean, it's a natural element that made it to chemical, but you know, we are chemicals anyway. Which reminds me, I need to go stop and get my prescription. Mm-mm. But I think, yeah, definitely, what you put in your body definitely can affect your mental health. I remember something as simple as when I was in, what was it, high school? Uh, I listen. I like to school early enough so I can get some breakfast. And I already told you I was a plus size guy, so I would go get this breakfast, and I would get two biscuits. And I promise you, every time I eat those two biscuits, my mama and my family we love to eat, so we put what's that syrup on our biscuits? You know what I mean? Not just jelly. Jelly don't do it. Syrup, that butter and that
Yes.
syrup, sop it up in that
Yes.
biscuit. Lord, but when I tell you every time I ate those biscuits, y'all, could barely walk up the steps because those biscuits fell on my stomach like a rock.
I was wrong. I'm sorry. Vitamin D thing. Excuse me. No, not like mangoes and stuff. Things like salmon, fish, eggs, egg yolk, milk, yogurt, almond milk, orange juice.
But see, I don't actually partake a lot of dairy. Only very few dairy items do I eat.
Same. But they said almond milk, so any dairy made with almond milk counts.
That almond milk, it's got vitamin D in it. I
Yeah.
don't want the oranges with vitamin D. It tastes nasty. It tastes like
Breakfast
milk and it tastes like milk and
breakfast cereals,
orange.
fortified tofu, oatmeal, cheese, eggnog, vitamin D foods, baby.
Since you're trying to be so resourceful, go ahead and send that to me, please.
Sure thing, pal.
I said, please.
Oh, I was being nice.
Oh, okay. I thought you were bad.
No, no sarcasm, no sarcasm whatsoever.
I was like, y'all, I said, please.
Sent.
Thank you.
You are welcome. So,
Do you have anything else you want to say about mental health?
well, it's a motherfucker. I deal with it myself, being that I live with a few things, and depression's a motherfucker, anxiety's a motherfucker. I will say that. Uh, for a black man, it's especially hard. And then when you're trying to survive and deal with all that society throws at you, not life, that's different, but like society throws at you, it's hard. And I just want to remind people, especially black guys, that don't let those stacks weigh against you. It's extremely hard. Just try and find a way to ground yourself if you don't have loving, caring people surrounding you. But that's the first thing that you need is loving, caring people surrounding you. When you feel like you are going to crack or spaz,
Mm-hmm.
it's extremely important.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
as a black man, it's definitely important, especially if you're a young black man. But I think it's like 1 in 3 black men end up in prison or some shit. So like, it's tough.
It is. The system was actually, like I said, built for us to fail.
It is.
And the people that actually come out, people that actually, was able to make it out of the hood or make it, you know, through their poverty. I remember speaking about that. I remember, um, me being in a low income family. You know, my mother, my sister, and I, and us coming home, and it was dinner time, and my mother had one honey bun, and she split it between my sister and I. And I asked her if she wanted some, and she said no, she had already eaten, and she had lied. She lied to my face.
Hmm.
That was all we had to eat was a damn honey bun. And that's what I'm saying. Like I give all like power, homage, to the black woman,
For real.
for her strength, for definitely for my mom and her strength, they do a lot of shit that we can't do, damn it. And I'll be the advocate for that. They do a lot of shit that we can't do, or that we don't have the capacity to even think to do. But yeah, I just remember that, and I now, like I was saying before, have degrees. I'm not living in the hood anymore. I'm doing well for myself. Every now and again, sending money back home. So I was one of the ones that made it out of the hood and made something of himself, and still trying to give back. You know what I mean? To whatever community I am. So uh, very few times you see that happen. But I'm telling you guys, once you get up there, give back. You know what I mean? Give back to your community. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's really important to address things where they are, get that mental health taken care of,
For real.
and be somebody. Become. Oh my God, I love my girl on. She's on TikTok. Oh, I love her. She has a whole clothing line. She has makeup. Excuse me. She has accessories and everything on it says "Become." You know, it's her brand. I think it's I am. Is it? Oh, I don't want to get it wrong. Lord, let me go find her. Whew. Hold on one second. She might be on trying to sell something tonight, but I want you guys to go support her. She's a black trans woman. Um, I don't even know if I would call her a trans woman. I want to say on TikTok she identifies as female. Let's start there. Let's go with that. Um, because I think there's a thin line sometimes of being trans and then being gender non conforming and being
Hmm.
a drag queen.
Hmm. Hmm.
There's a thin line, and I don't even know where that line
No,
is
there's a big
drawn.
difference between all three.
There is, but when you have people that let's see, I want to give an example. Okay, good example would be um uh Big Frida.
What about her?
Right, exactly. She identifies. I would say that she would probably be more of the gender not conforming
Hmm.
because, and she
Yes.
doesn't care if you call her he or she.
Hmm.
She goes by both
Hmm.
pronouns. But like say for instance, there are women that will show you who they are as a guy, but then also they like living, a portion of their day, dressed as a woman and flawlessly, flawlessly doing it.
Hmm.
You know, I don't know what to call them because they're proud of both. So they wouldn't be trans. I don't even think they would be drag queens because they don't look like traditional drag queen. Nothing is overstated. They don't have big green hair, flowing everywhere. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
If I can, am I on your Wi-Fi? Did you give me the code? Do you
I
have
don't
Wi-Fi?
know. Yeah.
What is it? Oh, okay. I need your password. Here, type it in because I don't need you to tell everybody
Hmm.
because we know y'all listening. So my baby standing outside the house trying to tap in. Tap, 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 tap. Yeah.
Why your shit in French?
Listen, so I changed that shit a while back, and I changed it back to English, but not everything translated back to English.
Mm-hmm.
But is it I am Imani Zap? Imani Zap? I think that's her name. Let me see. Are you on?
Say what now? I keep saying incorrect password. Give me a second. Holy shit.
If you had an iPhone, all you had to do is tap it, and I'll be right on in.
I ain't with the
For these
shits.
Android users.
Hell yeah, I ain't with these shit. This is
Listen.
ridiculous.
But anyway, like I said, just go out, support your black businesses. And I'm not gonna lie, let's talk about this too. I'm not gonna lie. Some of these prices that these black folks have is way too much. This lady, I went to this black festival he had here in Lancaster, right? And I went over to her table, and when I tell you, she tried to overcharge me, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because y'all say, well, we have to match all the white price, so we got to be more than white price because we don't get that much business. Not necessarily, because let's talk about this. So we went over here. I got to this African. They probably Jamaican or something. I wouldn't even say they're Jamaican. They're Ethiopian or something. Anyway, they're from Africa,
I'm
and
done.
that was so shady. I'm sorry, everybody, that it wasn't, but they were from Africa, and we're standing up here, and I'm standing in front of the table, and she asked me what did I want. So of course the first base of everything, they gotta put rice. Fill your plate up with rice so you don't know you're not getting enough of everything else. Let's talk about that. Don't fill my plate up with rice. Let me get the meat first, and then you can put some rice around my meat. So then, so then,
Some rice around
so
my
then
meat. No,
she
you
gave
right.
me, she gave
You
me,
right.
was it 2 pieces of meat and some of those little cornbread rolls,
Right.
and gonna tell me my bill was $18. $18
Yeah.
for a little couple bones and some rice. Bitch, I know rice is cheap as a mug. It's probably one of the cheapest foods you can buy in the store. And it didn't taste like shit when I got it outside.
Yeah.
Gave me 2 bones. When I say 2 bones, y'all, I'm literally saying bones with a thin layer of meat around it.
Yeah.
Go charge me $18. I ain't even gonna lie. Shit. A couple days later, she hadn't gotten that cash out. Pulled that shit right back. Boop.
Yeah, you're a fucking trip.
Meal on you, bitch. Go charge me some $18. Shit. Somebody else didn't pay for my bill. You charge it like that. And listen, I'm a food connoisseur. I know how much food costs. She overdid that. She really did.
I do not know why this is saying it's not right, but it's right.
You still working on that?
Yes. Because it's frustrating me. I know what my shit is. Look here. I don't know what to tell you. All my shit's connected, so I'm just like, what the hell? Connected security. So I had something for you.
What?
Nick Cannon on how Kel Mitchell and Kenan Thompson helped them.
Okay, what happened?
I don't know. We'll see. You want to hear?
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I always loved all three of them. I was huge fans of all three of them growing up. We about the same era, same age, right?
Cool.
You and me. How old are you?
Oh, I'm gonna be your daddy.
No, you ain't. Shut the hell up.
How old are you? 30 what?
You tell me first.
30 what?
Ah.
31. You something like 31.
Nope.
32. That's it. 32.
Mm-hmm.
40 in December.
What?
You heard me.
30?
Thank you.
Oh shit. So Nick Cannon.
The canon of Nick.
He opened about his friendship with Kel on a recent episode of Cannon's new talk show. He got a talk show now? His self-titled talk show. Kel was a guest. Cannon talked about the beginning of his friendship with both Mitchell and Keenan. Mitchell and Thompson befriended Cannon when they were all on Nickelodeon sketch comedy show, all that.
I love this show.
Right? Cannon joined Mitchell and Thompson on Keenan and Kel, on which Cannon acted as a warm-up act and writer.
Mm-hmm. So how did he get helped out? Get to the meat of it.
So
They still consoling him about divorce to Mariah Carey.
Yep. You know he done had like 4 kids since that.
Listen.
So anyway.
Hey, Mariah like 100. How old is she?
I'm done. He said to Kel, you and Keenan gave me the opportunity to write episodes and stuff. I was the audience warm-up. At like 16, I would drive up in my mama's old car. Kel would let me sleep in his apartment sometimes and hang out.
Wow.
He said, you and Keenan just opened your doors to me and really saw me as family. If I haven't said thank you enough, I'll say it again just for all of that tutelage. Not only for me, but you inspired a generation, man. All these kids on TikTok, you guys created comedy for young people. And the fact that you now get to be the executive producer of the new All That, it's come full circle. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I said it right. Imani Van Zat. That's her name.
Ah.
That's good that they had that good friendship.
No, I dig it. The point that I brought that up is just thought it was cool how there's like camaraderie between them, and you see 3 black men sticking together and being really cool about each other. There's no like beef or anything like that. I don't think there ever was. I mean, right. Kel and Keenan, there was some kind of beef for a few years.
Really?
Yeah. There sure was. Yep.
After Good Burger?
No, it was like more like several years ago.
Seen that?
But Kel looking scrumptious though. I will say that.
Wait a minute.
Look at this.
Okay.
I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah. Did you see Good Burger?
That's one of my favorite movies of all time. Don't play with me.
Oh my! Welcome to Good Burger, home of a Good Burger.
Can I take your order? One of my favorite movies of all time. All right, check it now.
What's this?
That covers it up because it's waterproof. Fancy, right?
Yes. Let me see this photo.
All right, check it out.
No, fine. Hold on. Come on. There we go.
You get it?
Is that him?
Yeah, that's King. That's Kel on the left, Keenan on the right, and
Is
Nick
that
in the middle.
Kel?
Yes, don't he look as ain't he looking
Are you
scrumptious?
sure that's Kel?
That is
Look like Kel
Kel.
from the Good Burger.
I am positive that is Kel Mitchell.
Wow.
Looking all types of scrumptious.
Wow. Wow. Trying to see if I can. Okay.
But see, Kel was homeless at one point, is struggling at one point. I wonder who helped him out.
Mm.
He has the least like quote unquote successful career out of the three of them. Not to say he's not doing well. He's doing well.
Doing what?
But he rebounded. Like he's one of the writers of all that now. And he's
I
gotten
was
his
still
career
on.
back in some sense. They made there's a new one, a revamped version. But my thing is like, how much money does he have compared to them two?
Right.
I'm not hating or nothing. Like he definitely is still doing good for himself, but I think we're like I don't know. I wonder why he maybe he had mental health issues. I don't know. But it's just one of those things to think about. Like why did he
Get the
he
short
just
end of the stick.
well, I mean, child stars, child celebrities going through things. He went through things. He got not blacklisted, but he just couldn't get certain roles that the other ones were getting.
Mm.
I don't know. Something to think about.
I don't know why they made me think of Antoine Fisher.
Antoine
Oh
Fisher.
my gosh.
Damn.
That was crazy. That was a crazy movie. I don't know why that made me thinking about that movie. I think about being actually not blacklisted but typecast. You know. I think Oprah Winfrey is kind of typecasted herself. Like it's always got to be a movie where she like a slave woman. For real.
I'm done with you. That's all kinds of black movies in like the 2010s. Like, come on.
I can name 3 where she was the lonely black woman. You know,
Right.
I'm like, really, Oprah? You know, we're powerful too.
But that's all the movies that they gave those gave black women in.
First of all, she was a producer. Anybody give her shit?
I'm done.
Shit. I can name her.
All right, Mister Co-host.
No.
It is time. It is time.
It is time.
It is time to bring it on down. Bring it on down now.
Bring it on down.
Yo, for real, for real. Thank you for being here in person in the studio and just vibing with me tonight. Even though you ain't eat my chili, I still love you.
You got beefing it, y'all.
Because you gave me some sour. I love it. I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure. And thank you for the topics. It's I mean, we didn't delve deep. I didn't want to dive too deep, but I just wanted to inspire Touch the Drop. I got a little deep. You didn't. But you did spit some shit. I will say that. You know. But it's time for me to eat and sleep.
You feel get some more of that chili, y'all. It smells good.
And more of the chili. Thank you.
It smells good.
How kind of you.
I want to see what you do with these potatoes, though.
Okay. Oh, yeah. You definitely want to see what I do with the potatoes for real. Thank you all for tuning in to the Leon Blog as usual. Make sure you meditate on your path, celebrate your being, liberate your spirit, and educate yourself. I'm John Tell.
And I'm Remmy.
Arm yourself with knowledge and have a blessed journey, y'all.